on the mic skits. I guess I done brought the mic skits to life. I said, I was saying earlier, if there was another main storyline that I would watch, it would be the mic skits. So the mic skits is dropping today. So I watched the skits with the lawyer with a negotiation and Dave. So we're gonna talk about those skits first, and then I'm gonna jump into Piari sharing with Shayla her love for Anthony. Now I said a while ago back, y'all, and I kind of been saying that a long time before they circle back to it, that I think Piari is the only woman that has ever truly loved Anthony. I think that is Anthony's true love. I really, really do. But we'll talk about that later. I want to go in order because I want to spend some time. That'll probably be what I talk about on the way home. And I hope Piari tells Shayla that who she is talking about is Anthony. Shayla gonna feel some type of way. She probably gonna spaz out, knowing that Anthony did have another child. She'll probably use it against Anthony in some way to talk to him crazy and emasculate him. But anyway, let's dive into this contract thing. Dave said the same. Dave kind of on the same wavelength as Wayne. This is a face where he was like, he said 25% pretty generous. And him saying that let you know that what all the well, I ain't gonna say all of them, but what I know O'Neal has said it, I have said it. I think Deontay may have said it. Y'all, this is a reasonable deal. I'm not sure about Deontay because I haven't looked at his commentary as far as the contract is concerned. But you guys, Country Wayne is the name, and I was joking on one of the lives that he can hire me. And if I know how to talk, if I've been on a podcast before, and if I know how to hold a podcast, and I know how to have a conversation, I know how to have a spicy conversation, whether it be with men, women, rich, poor. And I have been on several podcasts in real life myself. I've been on a panel with all men podcast before. I've been on a podcast where it was another woman co-host. So I've done a little bit of it all when it comes to podcasts. Y'all, it's not that hard. The only difference was I didn't have Country Wayne name on it. Country Wayne could literally hire Riri to be on the podcast. And if I know how to interact with people, and I know how to hold a conversation, and I know how to be entertaining, if I know how to relate to people, I could be successful on the Country Wayne podcast myself. I could be a host on the Country Wayne podcast myself. And I'm going to blow up, and my name would elevate from the strength of Country Wayne's name. And that's what they're not getting. They can be replaced. He doesn't have to use them. That's what they're failing to realize. He put in the money. Yes, they gave the idea. Whoop-de-doo. Now, what he could do is chunk the people who brought him the idea. He could give them more money. He could give them a bonus. And that's why I think that they should negotiate individually. Because technically, Honeypot brought it to him and asked him to invest. So does that mean she should get more money? Denisha and Shayla came up with the idea. Does that mean that they should get more money? Amber really on the ass end of this. Hold on, y'all. Really, Amber's on the ass end of this. Lauren is on the ass end of this. Really, the negotiation should be between the people who came up with the idea, Shayla and Delicia, and then the person who went to Wayne and asked him to invest, which would be Tamara. Really, if there's investment concern or part ownership concern, it should really be those three, perhaps. But telling somebody, hey, you should get a podcast in your name, that's not hard, y'all. I don't know what people are not understanding about this. And Amber has the least to do with this podcast. And she's acting like her name means so much. Amber names means nothing on this podcast. It doesn't. Even in real life, Amber has her own name, but that's based on what? The skits. Let's say this is a real life situation. Amber's clout and her name and her status is based on the skits, which fall under Country Wayne. If Delicia has the most celebrity influence, she knows the most celebrities out of all of them. So again, I can see that, but Amber even making her mouth to say 50%. And this face that Dave made, I'm telling y'all, at the end of the day, Dave is a businessman. If Dave knew that Amber was really going for 50%, and I'm not sure if he know or not, but that would make him think. If I marry you, you mean you gonna go after 50% of my money and we ain't been married a good year? It would be a misunderstanding. And I don't see why some people not getting the business behind this. Anybody can do a podcast. I can start a podcast from my car right now. When y'all on the screen like this and I'm talking podcast. Come on. Anybody can do a podcast, y'all. It's not rocket science. And to me, just be frank, let's just be honest. They haven't been very organized and structured as far as it is concerned. I haven't heard them say one meeting onto what your topics are going to be. When you have a podcast, you're supposed to have your topics, who's going to say what, who's going to lead with the questioning, how the round table's going to go. I haven't heard them talk about any business. So you think this podcast is going to be successful just based on your face? I could get up there looking just like I look right now. If it's Country Wayne, I expect, maybe he can get my hair done and stuff like that. But I guarantee y'all, I'm telling you what I know. I could do the podcast and it still be successful just because of the name Country Wayne. And that's what they don't get it. They don't get it. It's like Burger King. If you pay for the meal, you say, have a say. If you don't, you have no argument. Diamond. Amber renewed her vows and allegedly forgave. Now she's committing adultery now. The only thing she may go by is Kai, and that's not worth 50%. Exactly. And then if Anthony, good lawyer, remember, he asked, that's what a lot of the threes not understanding with Amber, the level threes. Anthony asked for a divorce first. She would not give it to him. That should mean something. He forgave her and stayed with her, even after finding out about Wayne. He could have divorced her then. I'm not sure I don't think he filed in. Because she was like, we not going to give up. Please forgive me. All this type of stuff. I don't understand. I guess, and again, I'm not trying to degrade or talk down on anyone when I say this. But some people just don't have the business mindset to understand that Country Wayne is the brand. Iman's name. This is what trips me out because Delicia should go talk to Iman. He has a successful podcast. Y'all, if you're not the main name of that show, you can be replaced. Like that one with the panel. I forgot what it's called. I really don't want to call their name because I don't want to get into it. But that was a successful podcast show. They went on the road. They did all these other things. And guess what? It fell apart. But nobody on that podcast since then, really, old buddy was doing good by himself. He built his name by himself. But when he made a panel, that's when the mess and the drama came in. That's why sometimes it's better to go solo dolo. But these women are strictly coming up from Country Wayne name. Y'all can be replaced. And you don't have to be replaced with an IG model. I could go on there and be successful. Yeah, Trizzy Trey, that's what I said earlier. I said the Joe Budden show, I don't know who Joe Budden co-cast is. I don't. I know Joe Budden. Same thing with Hollywood Unlocked. Jason Lee has had several people on there, but who do we remember? Jason Lee is the name of Hollywood Unlocked. The Breakfast Club. Is it the Breakfast Club? I think that's what they call it. I'm not even sure. Look, I had to pause on the name. Because guess what? I remember Charlamagne the God and DJ Envy and Angela Yee. They became a brand. The first year they was out, We didn't know their individual names. We just knew the Breakfast Club. But now we know their names. Angela Lee has branched off and done her own thing. If DJ Envy did his own thing, if Charlamagne the God did their own thing, and they didn't do the Breakfast Club no more, it would still be okay because they have made a name. Y'all don't have a name. Nobody's going to watch the Delicia podcast. Nobody's going to watch the Shayla podcast. Wayne is giving them the opportunity, a beautiful space, $260,000, however much it costs to get the equipment and all that. He's giving them the means to make themselves a name. The only thing I say is I wouldn't do a 3-year contract, but maybe a 1 year. And maybe he's doing the 3-year so that they can prove themselves, that they can sustain the test of time. The way these girls are moving and operating, which is what Wayne knows behind the scenes, they ain't gonna make it 6 months. Sarah podcast. I don't know the name of Sarah podcast, but I know she has a podcast that is successful. And we know that's Sarah. Now, if she came to Wayne's podcast, she could negotiate, I want 10%. Why? Because she already has her own platform that has proven to be successful in her niche. And I don't understand why people don't understand that. Amen. If O'Neal came up, O'Neal got like 20,000 followers. 20,000 subscribers. He's been out a long time, longer than some of us in the group or whatever. If he started the O'Neal podcast, and let's say somebody who ain't never done commentary before, or they new to the Country Wayne commentary streets, and they tried to do something with him, that's his show, that's his platform. You growing off his name. You growing off it. And that's what I don't get either. Ooh, Lord, let me make my words right. Some people may have help behind the scenes for some people. But it's crazy to think that this person doesn't use your name for clout. And for you to tell people that somebody used your name for clout. For instance, if it was me and somebody was, let's say, in my comments, or they give me props or whatever, and they, behind the scenes, we may have worked with each other on whatever, and then you decide to do your own thing, and then you lie and say, Riri came up on me, or up on my name, amen, but Riri ain't using your name for nothing. Make it make sense. Riri not saying your name at all. Amen. Riri didn't make no money off you at all. Amen. But you'll tell people that Riri came up off you. You and Riri style ain't nothing alike. Nothing alike. You and Riri commentary, Riri jokes, Riri antics where I can be different characters, knuckle buck. I didn't get none of that from you. No, I'm just saying. And to say that people will do that. People will do that. Amen. That would be like Delicia. Now, I ain't gonna say Delicia. That would be like Honey Pot or like Amber. We just gonna use her for an example. The way Amber trying to put it, like Country Wayne go come up off they name. Don't nobody know y'all. Y'all are not the brand. So how can Country Wayne come up off you, Amber, just because of your face? Just because you might have been on his podcast? Just because somebody's seeing you with them? Can you hear me now? It had went out. Can you hear me now? Hold on. Can you hear me now? My son kept calling me. Y'all let me know, please. Yes or no? Can you hear me now? So I know if I need to close it. Okay, you can hear me. Okay. So that's what I'm gonna repeat what I said because the sound had went out. Amber saying that Country Wayne gonna make millions off of us. No, you not. No, he's not. He already has the name. And that's why I say even little old me. How I'm gonna come up off somebody's name whose name wasn't out there? Make it make sense. But people will lie and think they so entitled. You know what? That makes sense though. Level 3 fan, and that makes sense. That makes sense. It makes sense. Level 3. It makes sense. Thank you, Sarah. But I'm just saying, if it was somebody that, my son, for instance, my son come up and say, later on and try to sue me or something, be like, Mama, you made money off my name. You're not Auntie Riri. O'Neal. If O'Neal brings somebody up under his umbrella, or it's the O'Neal show, how can you say that you made his brand when his brand was already there? How can you say that you added value or you're more valuable than the person platform than you coming to? Make it make sense. Especially when that person ain't nothing like you. Make it make sense. Your style might be dry. My style, I like to laugh. I like comedy. I like to have fun. I like to do plot twists. We're totally different. Don't get how I'm biting you. I'm just speaking hypothetically, y'all. I'm just speaking hypothetically. Make it make sense. The girls are they will make themselves a name, a household name of Country Wayne's brand. If they get their own podcast, they can. But it's not going to be as successful. It will not get them deals and exposure like under the Country Wayne umbrella. I ain't got to lose 1 pound. I guarantee you. Country Wayne gave me the opportunity to be on his podcast. I guarantee you I would rock it. And I wouldn't mind signing no contract because guess what? By the end of that year or the end of that contract, people gonna know Riri name. But you can't walk in the door asking for a percentage and you ain't spent no money. You spent zero money. And you feel like you owed a percentage of the business ownership? Nobody knows you. You can be replaced. He can get Imani. He can get Sarah. He can get Piari. He can get other women that can sit in that chair and tell their personal life experience. He can get my mama. He can get somebody old school on there. And you know why people go watch? Because they going to want to see the Country Wayne Pod Show. They going to want to see what Country Wayne put together. Not what Amber Ty put together. Not what Shayla put together. They are a liability to his brand. Hey, Vaughn. Girl, I said, these people delusional. You see, Dave's face was like 25%. That face right there. Dave telling you, he wouldn't have gave 25%. Dave wouldn't have gave him 25. He said, that's generous. He said, that's generous. That's generous. You building off that person brand. Don't nobody know you. Don't nobody know you. Literally, real life. Don't nobody know you. So what is he benefiting off of you? And I wasn't talking about the girls on the podcast because they have notoriety now because of who? They are great actors and actresses, but we wouldn't know who Amber Ty is if it wasn't for Country Wayne platform. We wouldn't know who, some people might know who Delisa is. We wouldn't know who Shayla is. We wouldn't know who the rest of them, even though they are popular in their own way. But most of us older people and stuff, we wouldn't know who they are. He's opened the door for them to get exposure. And people who don't understand these percentages and how the business works, that's how it works, baby. And I got to go back to work. But I'll talk to y'all later after. We're going to talk about PR now after this. When I get off work, we're going to talk about PR. And I'll talk to y'all later, but make it make sense. Wayne is the brand. Talk to y'all later. Love y'all. Thank you, Kitty.